Independence Day, and God, so many more. Even why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome back to the 80s week. So it's our final review of this series, and today I thought I would close things off. So when it comes to Back to the 80s week, I've always sort of started it with a vampire movie, a werewolf movie by the third day, an 80s set horror by the fifth day, and the final day it always seems to have been so far a horror from 1988. So yeah, today's review of course is The Serpent and the Rainbow, directed by legendary director and master of horror Wes Craven, screenplay written by Richard Maxwell and R.A.R. Simonus, based on The Serpent and the Rainbow by Wade Davis, starring Bill Pullman, Kathy Tyson, Zach McKeough, Paul Winfield, Brett Jennings, Michael Goff, and Paul Guilfoyle. So this follows Dr. Dennis Allen, played by Bill Pullman, who is looking for this new medicine, this new herb that can apparently, bring back the dead or stop people from dying, or well, save lives and change medicine. And he travels to Haiti for this, only to find that when he gets there, he goes on this insane, surreal journey where he looks into this medicine, experiences voodoo and zombieism, and even gets buried alive at one point, and has a lot of dark, claustrophobic moments and some suspense and a lot of spooky stuff going on. So what did I like about this one? Well, when it has Wes Craven attached to it, you're in for something good and interesting, and this was it. Wes Craven knows what he does with horror, from making his big break in 1972's Last House on the Left, then giving us other classics like The Hills Have Eyes, and then, of course, 1984, giving us A Nightmare on Elm Street, introducing the world to Freddy Krueger, and I reviewed that last series as well, A Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's an 80s horror, and back with another Craven horror. So yeah, I thought, let's watch this, let's do it. This also starred Bill Pullman, who again is an actor that I'm familiar with from seeing him in Spaceballs and Independence Day, and God, so many more. Even as a regular at one point in the fourth season of Torchwood, the Doctor Who spin-off. It's also had Michael Goff in it, who has a history of that show as well, playing the Celestial Toymaker, then a Time Lord in another story. But also, I first knew him as Batman's butler Alfred in the Tim Burton, Michael Schumacher Batman movies. But yeah, I like the Haitian setting and the whole voodoo stuff. I've always found voodoo and zombies interesting, and how they do it, which of course is like their secret thing. Because in Haiti they're very superstitious, and I believe that they do this voodoo stuff, and that they create zombies with voodooism, which is something that dates back to old times in Haiti. But yeah, anything with like their faces painted like skulls and witch doctor vibes, draws me in. And yeah, so I liked that. I also like the whole unsettling unnervingness, like you think, is this real? Is this a nightmare? What's happening here? That's got to be a terrible thing, being buried alive, especially with a tarantula on your face. That's got to be horrifying as well if you're an arachnophobe. But yeah, this was, I feel, horror. Was this Craven's last 80s horror movie before he went into the 90s? I mean, did he direct anything else in 1988 and 1989 before going into the 90s with People Under the Stairs? I'm not sure, but still, this is part of Wes Craven's filmography, and it's a fascinating film. I guess there was some drama at the beginning, the slow build, but hey, we get treated to 98 minutes of this surreal, supernatural, undead horror, and I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it and stuff. So yeah. So let's get to our final ratings of this series. So, like I say, it had a few hiccups here and there, but I think it was alright. I'll give this 4 video nasties out of 5. 4 video nasties out of 5 for The Serpent and the Rainbow. And there you have it. Back to the 80s week, our 3rd series of this 80s Review Week's horror show. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this this series as I have making it. So yeah, have you seen The Serpents and the Rainbows? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. You can watch the whole series of this so far. Well, not so far. You can watch the whole series of this along with our first 2 seasons as well of Back to the 80s week. So, I'll be seeing you soon, and until next time, good night.